Good evening, guys. We'll be continuing with our working of, solving more and more questions from different topics. So, given that, you guys have prepared CVP analysis, I will be taking up questions on CVP analysis to begin with. These are questions from the study hub, interesting questions which will help you develop your concept better. Okay. Just make sure that you are ready with the formulas when I ask. Now, look at this one. Mario operates a small business that makes pizzas and delivers them to within a 2-mile radius. The variable cost incurred to make and deliver one pizza is 2.15. The average price charged is 6.5 per pizza, including delivery. Major estimates the annual fixed cost of his business are 40,000, including salaries of 24,000. What is the break-even number of pizzas per year for Mario to the nearest unit? The question is, you want to calculate the break-even number of units. How is break-even calculated in units? Can you tell me the formula?
Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit.
Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Okay. Do we have the fixed cost and also do we have the contribution per unit?
Yes, sir.
What is the total fixed cost here? Total fixed cost is 40,000. Simple question है. ठीक है. Denominator में है contribution per unit. The variable cost incurred to make a pizza, make and deliver a pizza is 2.15. Average price charged is 6.5 per pizza, including delivery. So 6.5 is the selling price charged. Variable cost is 2.15. How much will this be? So 40,000 divided by 6.5 minus 2.15. 9195.4. Now the question is round it off to the nearest unit. 9195.4 ka nearest unit is 9195. Had it been 9195.7, for example, then you would have to pick up 9196. This is where, they try to trick you in topics which are easy topics. So if the question is easy, they will try to trick you this way. They will say to the nearest unit, to the nearest 100 unit. So that is where, extra care and caution is required. Make sure that you do it properly. Now, let's look at another one. ठीक है. अब in my opinion, this is an easy question. You should be able to do this in less than a minute. A division manufacturing a single product which sells for 325 has the following unit cost structure. Direct material 95, direct labor 78, variable overhead 56, share of fixed cost 45. In the upcoming period, the budgeted production volume is 10,000. Tell me, what is 45? Is it actual fixed cost or is it fixed cost absorbed into the product?
Absorbed into the product.
Right. 45 is fixed cost absorbed into product cost. Can I say that means 45 is overhead absorption rate? Does that make sense? OAR, what is OAR? OAR is budgeted overheads upon budgeted output, correct? OAR of 45 is equal to what is total budgeted overheads? We don't know. In fact, that is what we want to find out. But budgeted output is 10,000 units. So, budgeted overheads कितना होगा? 10,000
वो
into 45. That is 4,50,000. Okay. This is your budgeted fixed overhead. Now, you need break-even point sales volume to the nearest unit. ठीक है. Something like this again will come to your rescue. Total fixed cost 4,50,000 and contribution per unit 325 minus all the variable cost. क्या क्या होगा? 95, 78 and 56. These three, right? Direct material direct labor, and variable overheads. Tell me the total.
29.
229.
95 plus 78 plus 56. 229. 4,50,000 upon 325 minus 229. How much is that? 4687.5. तो कितना होगा आंसर? 4688. They have asked you to the nearest unit, right? So nearest unit में 4688. Here, the only challenge that could have been thrown at you is how do you calculate the budgeted overheads? ठीक है. Now, can someone tell me the formula for margin of safety ratio? ईशान बताइए. मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी.
सर आई थिंक वो ऐसा था, एक्चुअल यूनिट्स माइनस प्लान्ड यूनिट्स करके था.
ऐसा था नहीं. एक्चुअली क्या है बताओ. नो गेस वर्क. यू हैव डन द चैप्टर ना. यू शुड नो द फॉर्मूला. What is the formula for margin of
बजटेड
safety sales?
बजटेड सेल्स माइनस ब्रेक इवन सेल्स.
Budgeted sales minus break even
ब्रेक
sales.
इवन सेल्स.
And margin of safety ratio, how do you calculate that?
Budgeted sales minus break-even sales divided by budgeted sales.
Correct. Margin of safety ratio is budgeted sales minus break even sales upon budgeted sales. ठीक है. Grayton Company has a production capacity of 280. The budgeted sales volume for the next year is 256 and break even sales volume is 167. So budgeted sales 256,000 minus break even sales 167,000 divided by budgeted sales 256,000. Tell me how much is the answer?
34.7.
256 minus 167 upon 256. 34.76% and
6.
34.8%. Who can get this answer right? If you have learned the formula, you will definitely get the answer right. In fact, in terms of difficulty, I would classify this to be an easy level ka question hai. This is not a tough one. Now, let's do another one. Okay, have a look at this one. What volume of sales is required at the new selling price to increase profit by 10%? Renowned manufactures a single product which has a variable cost of 17 and currently sells for 30. The budgeted sales volume is 25,000 units per month and budgeted fixed costs are 250,000 per month. The divisional manager is considering reducing the price to 27 to increase sales. He also wishes to increase the monthly profit by 10%. What volume of sales is required at the new selling price to increase profit by 10%? What volume of sale means? They are basically looking at quantity. Okay. Now, first of all, let's process data as it comes along. What is the current selling price, Krisha? 30, right? What is current variable cost? 17. And current contribution? 13. Okay. The budgeted sales volume is 250,000 units per month and budgeted fixed costs are 250,000 per month. The divisional manager is Acha, what are your budgeted fixed cost? 250,000. With this data, can you tell me अच्छा sales volume कितना है?
25,000.
25,000. ठीक है. अब current contribution is 13, sales volume is 25. So what is basically अपना budgeted contribution? 3,25,000. So right now, what is the profit? Profit is contribution minus
cost.
cost. कितना है? Because ultimately, we are interested in the profit figure. So 325 minus 2,50,000, that is 75,000. Okay. Now, what does he want? He wishes to increase the monthly profit by 10%. What is the target profit? Tell me.
78,000 plus 10% of 78,000. 80 to 500.
80 to 500. Okay. And what is the new contribution per unit? They have reduced the
27.
selling price to 27. Variable cost is 17.
10.
Revised contribution per unit 27 minus 17, that is 10. Correct. Now, target profit is 82,500. Revised contribution per unit is 10. Now, formula for sales volume to achieve a
Desired profit.
given target profit. क्या है इसका फॉर्मूला? टारगेट प्रॉफिट, आगे बताइए.
Plus fixed cost divided by CS ratio आएगा, I think.
बट
ऐसा
यहाँ
नहीं,
पे
contribution.
नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स, राइट,
Okay, okay.
डिवाइडेड बाय
Yeah.
कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट. ठीक है. सो टारगेट प्रॉफिट है मेरा 82,500. व्हाट इज माय फिक्स कॉस्ट? 2,50,000 divided by 10. How much is this? 33,250.
Yes.
So,
What volume of sales is required at the new selling price to increase the profit by 10%? Answer is option C, 33,250. ठीक है. Cool. एक बार देख लो, have a look at the question and read the question, then read the solution. ठीक है. Anything that you want to ask here?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. चलो. This is medium level difficulty in my opinion. This is not very difficult, but this is medium level difficulty. The next question requires a lot of careful consideration. इसको अच्छे से करो. I'll give you 3 minutes to solve because that is the maximum time I think you should take in an exam condition to solve a question. ठीक है. ठीक है. I'll give you 3 minutes. Read it carefully and then try to do it. What percentage increase in sales is needed for Jim to earn the same operating profit in the next 6 months as he earned in the first 6 months? Read it carefully, think about it, see if you can solve, then we'll do it together. ठीक है? करो start. Okay. Now let's see what this question is all about. Interesting है, थोड़ा सा tricky हो सकता है. Jim Bowen has been trading for last 6 months as a fast food retailer. His average CS ratio for that period was 33% on sales of 1,20,000. Okay, so if sales is 1,20,000, then contribution is sales into CS ratio. कितना होगा? This into 33%, that is 39,600. His total fixed expenses were 25,800. He is considering employing an extra member of staff as he anticipates an increase in business. The cost of the new employee will be 18,000 per year. To stimulate sales, Jim will reduce his CS ratio to 30%. What percentage increase in sales is needed for Jim to earn same operating profit in the next 6 months as he earned in the first 6 months? So for that, we'll have to first of all find out how much profit did he make in the first 6 months. ठीक है, ये हो गया कंट्रीब्यूशन. देन फिक्स कॉस्ट कितना है? फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट 25,800. सो व्हाट इज प्रॉफिट?
13,800.
13,800. Okay, this is first 6 months. Now you want the same profit for the next 6 months. He is considering employing an extra member of staff as he anticipates increase in business. The cost of the new employee will be 18,000 per year. ठीक है, so next 6 months. Now the idea is that he wants the same profit in the next 6 months. Okay, so what will be the updated fixed cost? Batana to. Updated fixed cost will be
43,800.
25,800 plus 18,000 by 2. Why divide by 2? Because 18,000 is the per annum salary. ठीक है, 18,000 जो है that is your per annum salary and you need it only for 6 months. So 25,800 plus 9,000, which is 34,800. ठीक है, what is my target profit? Target profit is 13,800. So what is the target contribution? 13,800 plus 34,800. But we can simply apply this formula that we did here. Sales volume to achieve a given target profit, which is basically target profit plus fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. अब यहाँ पे contribution पर यूनिट तो नहीं है, यहाँ पे सेल्स लेवल आना चाहिए. वाई? बिकॉज दे आर expecting the answer in overall sales value, not in number of units. So instead of writing contribution per unit, I should write down CS ratio. कितना है CS ratio? 30%. How much is this? 1,62,000. What is your current sale? 1,20,000. So what is the increase in sale? 42,000. Try to express that in percentage terms. 35%. This is increase in sales. How do you get increase in sales? This is 1,62,000 minus 1,20,000. That gives me 35%. ठीक है,
तो थोड़ा सा स्क्रोल अप करना.
हाँ जी. थोड़ा इसमें again not very difficult but can get tricky if you don't pay attention to the numbers.
So 6 months वाला एक बार बताना. 18,000 divided by 2 वाला.
See, this 13,800 is profit for 6 months, right? You want the same target profit for next 6 months. So next 6 months का आपका fixed cost कितना होगा?
Okay, उसकी सैलरी हाफ कर.
है ना? So if you want the same profit, then आपका 13,800 तो फिक्स है, but then your fixed cost का value will also change now because that person 18,000 is his per annum salary, right? And we only need 6 months right now.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? Cool. Anyone else who wants to ask anything? Okay. Next question, relatively easy. ठीक है? Let's see if you can try that. A company man a company manufactures one product which it sells for 40. The product has a contribution to sales ratio of 40%. Monthly total fixed costs are 60,000. At the planned level of activity for next month, the company has a margin of safety of 64,000 expressed in terms of sales value. What is the planned activity level for next month? Again, I'll give you 3 minutes. Apply your mind, solve the question, then we'll approach it together. ठीक है? 3 मिनट लो. A company manufactures one product which it sells for 40 per unit. The product has a contribution to sales ratio of 40%. So, selling price 40. CS ratio 40%. That means contribution per unit is 40 into 40%, which is 16. Okay. The monthly total fixed costs are 60,000. At the planned level of activity for next month, the company has a margin of safety of 64,000 expressed in sales value. Acha, first of all, tell me what is my break even sales? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit 3750. ठीक है. Now, margin of safety 64,000. Margin of safety is budgeted sales minus break even sales, है ना? So 64,000 is in dollars. Okay. So can we convert that into number of units? I think it's quite possible. या फिर we can keep it this way. Budgeted sales minus break even sales. Break even sales means 3750 units into 40. ठीक है. Now tell me what are my budgeted sales?
सर ये फॉर्मूला यूनिट्स का नहीं होता, रेवेन्यू गिवन है ना 64,000.
तो उसका क्या करेंगे? इसमें गड़बड़ है? बताइए क्या गड़बड़ है?
मतलब फॉर्मूला तो ये यूनिट्स के लिए होता है, लाइक रेवेन्यू का तो वो उसमें अलग होता है शायद से फॉर्मूला.
बताइए क्या अलग होता है? चलो उस तरीके से करते हैं. नाउ if I say margin of safety, tell me what is the units वाला फॉर्मूला?
सर यूनिट्स वाला तो वही बजटेड सेल्स माइनस ब्रेक इवन सेल्स.
तो 64,000 को नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स में कन्वर्ट करो. Will this not be 64,000 upon 40? 1600. 1600 is equal to budgeted sales minus 3750. कितना होगा budgeted sales?
2150.
1600 plus 3750. By the way, आपका जो मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी सेल्स था $64,000 एंड सेलिंग प्राइस पर यूनिट इज 40. ठीक है. सो margin of safety sales in units is what? 64,000 upon 40.
सर अगर सेलिंग प्राइस को की जगह अगर हम मतलब वेरिएबल कॉस्ट पर यूनिट से डिवाइड कर देते तो क्या आता, इन केस मतलब अगर गिवन होता.
बट अगर सेल्स वैल्यू दिया है तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट पर यूनिट से हम डिवाइड करेंगे भी क्यों?
सर
मतलब फॉर व्हाट रीजन ना, उससे division of one number by another number can always happen, but it should serve some purpose, right? Chalo.
Okay, sir.
There's a graph based question on BEP. Let's do that. Which of the following is consistent with the above chart? Number of units here, dollar values here. Both selling price per unit and variable cost per unit are constant. Selling price is constant per unit. ये देखो, this is total cost till this point. Then there is a jump, and then again the total cost goes up. So we have to tell which of the following is correct, है ना? Which of the following is true on the basis of the chart. Second line देखो, selling price per unit is constant, variable cost per unit increases for sales over 4,000. Variable cost is constant, but selling price per unit increases. Selling price per unit तो does not increase at all. Selling price per unit remains the same. ठीक है. Selling price per unit for sales over 4,000 units. Selling price per unit increases for sales over 4,000 unit, and there is an increase in the total fixed cost at 4,000 unit. Now observe this data and tell me what is happening at 4,000 unit. Variable cost change हो रहा है कि fixed cost change हो रहा है?
Fixed cost.
Fixed cost, right? See, total revenue is a straight line that starts from origin. So selling price per unit remains the same. है ना? अब आप इसको देखो, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट पर यूनिट. ये टोटल कॉस्ट लाइन का ना एक बार स्लोप देखो तो इट्स एन अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग लाइन. बट सी यहाँ पे देयर इज अ जंप, but this jump is fixed cost. This jump is not variable cost. Variable cost remains the same. ये लाइन का स्लोप देखो. See, had it been something like suddenly, ऐसा कुछ और डायरेक्शन में अगर होता, instead of, see, these are like, this was the slope of the line, upward sloping. There was a jump here, but again the direction continued, right? The slope of the line remained the same. So variable cost per unit in this case has remained constant. ठीक है. Fixed cost has changed, of course, no doubt about that. चलो, let's make you do a difficult type question. थोड़ा सा difficult, not because it's complex, but because there are multiple steps to be done in this question. Observe करो इसको. A company makes and sells three products R, S, and T. Extracts from the weekly profit statements are given below. Sales, variable cost, fixed cost. If the mix of products produced and sold is changed to R20, S50, and T30, what effect would this have on the weighted average contribution to sales ratio? ठीक है. Weighted average CS ratio is total contribution divided by total sales. ठीक है. अब take 2 to 3 minutes, attempt this question, then we'll do it together. ठीक है. I hope you can see the digits on your screen. Please start. If the mix of products sold was changed to 20, 50, 30, what effect would this have on the weighted average CS ratio? First of all, tell me, what is the current weighted average CS ratio?
0.49.
Now tell me, what is in the numerator and what is in the denominator? Tell me that first.
Total contribution
Contribution divided by sales.
22.
So 22,000 upon 45,000, correct? 22,000 upon 45,000. कितना होगा?
0.49.
48.
48.89. ठीक है. Now, total units sold are, see, this is 10, 15, 20. This is total 45,000. If the mix of products produced and sold is changed to 20, 50, 30, what effect would this have on the weighted average contribution? After this change, how would this appear? So, R, S, T total sales. 45,000 into
2 by
20%.
10.
45,000 into 50% and 45,000 into 30%. हो गया? Now, observe one thing. See, variable cost is what percentage of sales here? 40%? है ना? So, this into 40%. 9,000 upon 15,000 करो तो कितना आता है? Tell me.
60%.
60%. So the same thing will apply for this one. This into 60%. And here tell me variable cost is what percentage of sales? 50%. So here as well you will have 50%. $21,150. ठीक है. So what is the new CS ratio weighted average? 21,150 upon 45,000. It is 47%. So what has happened to this?
Decrease.
It would decrease. So a question that has to be done very thoughtfully, दिमाग लगा के, one step at a time. ठीक है? Any doubts in this one, Krisha? Emma? Any doubts whatsoever?
Yeah. So actually, variable cost, how did we arrive at the new number? I got
Variable cost what?
for the new ratio, what we can
हाँ
calculate,
हाँ.
like for 3,600. How did we arrive that? Okay, we took the original. Yes.
In original calculation for product R, sales is 10,000, variable cost is 4,000. So variable cost upon sales is 4,000 upon 10,000, that is 40%. Now in new sales mix, sales of product are 9,000. So variable cost will be 9,000 into 40%, that is 3,600. Okay.
Got it.
Same logic to be applied for S&T. This is the calculation. ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Not very difficult one. Guys, unless you are talking to me, your mic should be on mute. It disturbs me. The background noise in your background can disturb me when I'm talking. So please ensure that your mics are on mute unless you have a question to ask me. The following information is available for a manufacturing company which produces multiple products. Which of the above are required in order to calculate break-even sales? Product mix ratio, contribution to sales for each product, general fixed cost, method of apportioning general fixed cost. What all do you need? I guess, see, you need for company which makes multiple products. So multi-product BEP is total fixed cost divided by weighted average CS ratio. For weighted average CS ratio, what all will you need? You will need product mix. You will need contribution to sales for each product, and you will also need the general fixed cost. Contribution to sales for each product, that you will have to multiply using the product mix, right? You had in the previous question 40%, 30%, whatever. So you will need that to calculate the weighted average CS ratio. Hence, your answer has to be option A, 1, 2 and 3. ठीक है? Any questions in this one?
No, sir.
Next one, medium level difficulty, not very tough. But again, that alertness is important. Huh? A company makes a single product which it sells for 2 per unit. Fixed costs are 13,000 per month. CS ratio is 40%. Sales revenue is 62,500. What is the margin of safety in units? ठीक है, I will give you 2 minutes to attempt. ठीक है, take 2 minutes and solve, then we'll discuss it together. Now, a company makes a single product which it sells for $2 per unit. ठीक है, now fixed costs are 13,000 per month. CS ratio is 40%. Sales revenue is 62,500. Now, what is the margin of safety in units? For margin of safety, we need break even sales as one of the calculations. Okay, so what is that? That is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, है ना? So 13,000 divided by what is the contribution per unit? 2 is the selling price. CS ratio is 40%. 13,000 upon how much?
0.8.
Pakka?
Yes.
16,250. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Selling price is $2. Contribution to sales ratio is 40%. Sales revenue is 62,500. Okay. Now this is break even sales, 16,250. What is your sales revenue? Sales revenue is 62,500. Now, how do we go about that? How will we calculate that?
62,500 डिवाइड बाय 2, तो उससे यूनिट्स में आ जाएगा ना,
Okay. Minus,
बजटेड यूनिट्स, माइनस 16250.
this is 31,250.
यस सर.
This
Yes.
is my budgeted sales, है ना? ब्रेक इवन सेल्स दिया है, सो 31,250 minus 16,250, 15,000, which is option A. ठीक है, I think the one place where they are challenging us the most is margin of safety वाला जो calculation है. There, we have to be a little extra careful. बाकी I think other questions are still, easier to tackle. अब, any doubts in this one?
Oh, sorry.
चलो, let's do another one. Mabel Company manufactures and sells tables and chairs in a standard mix of 1 table to 4 chair. The following information is available: product, variable cost per unit, contribution to sales ratio 120. Variable cost is 120 and 16. CS ratio is 0.4, 0.6. Annual fixed costs are 1 lakh. What is the break even point in sales revenue to the nearest $100? ठीक है, अब variable, acha, understand one thing. What is CS ratio? CS ratio is
सेल्स.
contribution divided by sales. So can I say 1 minus CS ratio is variable cost upon sales ratio. ठीक है. Why am I saying that? If 100 is my sales and my variable cost is 20, what is my contribution?
80.
100 minus 20, that is 80. 80 is my contribution. So CS ratio is 80 upon 100, that is 80%. Now, अब calculate variable cost to sales will be 20 upon 100. ठीक है. Observe here, 1 minus CS ratio करके देखो तो 1 minus 80%, कितना बचेगा? 20% बचेगा, राइट? 1 minus 80%, that is I am left with 20%. So is it equal to my variable cost to sales वाला proportion? The answer is yes, है ना. Contribution to sales ratio दिया है variable cost table and share. Variable cost कितना है per unit? 120. Share कितना है? 16. Now contribution to sales ratio 0.4 and 0.6. Variable cost to sales will be 1 minus this, है ना. अब you have variable cost to sales ratio and you have variable cost. Can you get the sales for this? 120 upon 0.6, and does this make sense? देखो एक बार. What do you think? Does this calculation make sense? Ishan, Krisha?
तो आपने
Yes.
सेकंड टेबल में क्या किया वापस बोल सकते हैं ये जो 240 के लिए
हाँ. Sales. See, variable cost upon sales is 0.6. Okay. अब are you okay with the fact that variable cost upon sales is 0.6 and यहाँ पे it is 0.4? Are you with me so far?
या यस
Okay. यहाँ पे variable cost is, so for table, variable cost is 120 upon sales. This is 0.6. So sales कितना होगा? 120 upon 0.6, which is 200.
या राइट
Same thing for chair.
या यस गॉट इट
Okay. So अपने को पूछा क्या है? They have asked us break even point in sales revenue. So can I get my, so I have my CS ratio and I have my everything. Annual fixed cost is 1 lakh. ठीक है. I need my weighted average CS ratio, है ना. How many units? अच्छा, standard sales mix is 1 table is to 4 chair. So standard sales mix 1 table is 1 table and 4 chair. ठीक है. अब let's say total sales into standard sales mix, 200 into 1, 40 into 4, and total contribution. अच्छा, यहाँ पे let me calculate contribution per unit. कैसे होगा contribution per unit? Selling price minus variable cost, है ना. Selling price, this is selling price. Contribution per unit is selling price minus variable cost. ठीक है. अब what is total contribution? It will be contribution per unit into standard sales mix. कैसे होगा? This 80 into 1 and 24 into 4, that is 96. I need weighted average CS ratio, है ना? So I need total of sales 360, 176. कितना होगा weighted average CS ratio? This much. Do you agree? Or you have any doubts whatsoever? पूछ लो, now is the time. Ishan, anything you want to ask?
Sir,
Hema, Krisha?
So the whole sum is only a little bit tricky, so we'll have to do it by our own.
Of course, of course. So now you have weighted average CS ratio, है ना? This is 176 upon 360. Now, you have annual fixed cost upon weighted average CS ratio 204545. But they want the answer in nearest 100. इसका nearest 100 क्या होगा? 204500. Break even sales is how much? 1 lakh upon 48.89. ठीक है, 48.89%. Break even sales will be 204545. Nearest 100, 204500, which is option C. Fair enough. This is the kind of question, where you will have to redo the question on your own. And then you will find out, where exactly are you lagging behind, or, what exactly have you not understood. And then, of course, then you drive it further. ठीक है?
So, but these type of questions are rare, right, in the exam?
These type of questions are what?
Are rare, right?
No, they can come. This is not a very tough question. When you practice enough number of questions, this should be easy to do.
Okay.
ठीक है? Okay. Chalo. Let's stop here. I hope you guys are on track in terms of preparation. अपना next target for preparation is limiting factors. Limiting factors का section A questions. So come prepared with that one.